YouTube, my name is Rachel Mayo. Welcome to my channel and thank you for being here. I'm going to be discussing a very special aspect. This aspect happens in synastry. Synastry is done by combining two natal birth charts to see how the planets interact with the other chart. Synastry is one of the ways that we can see how energy between two people is exchanged, perhaps in a romantic relationship or between friends or a business partnership. Synastry is also used when we want to see how an event is going to impact your own natal birth chart. The synastry aspect I'm going to be discussing today is when the moon conjuncts Mars. This is a very hot and sexual, intimate aspect. If you have this with a partner, you're going to have a very deep and intense connection. When the moon conjuncts Mars, there is a lot of desire and passion on both sides. The sex is very passionate and steamy. So if you have this conjunction with someone, you really have to be careful and make sure that you're using protection, because it's very likely that the Mars person wants to dominate you by making you pregnant. But the funny part about this conjunction is, even if you weren't thinking about becoming a mother, when you meet a person who conjuncts your moon, you are all of a sudden going to start thinking about starting a family. So watch out for this aspect if you're not trying to start a family. Moon conjunct Mars in synastry works best when the moon is the female and the Mars is the male. The energies are exchanged according to the sexes. The moon is the most feminine planet in astrology, and Mars is the most masculine planet in astrology. The moon is the most feminine planet in astrology, and of course there's Venus. However, Venus has a totally different effect when it conjuncts Mars in synastry. Mars is the most masculine planet in astrology. Of course, there is the Sun. However, the Sun has more to do with the identity of our soul. Mars is pure masculine energy. So the conjunction of the moon and Mars represents moon, the female dimension, and Mars, the masculine dimension of a relationship. The person with the moon makes Mars feel very comfortable. He is the man, after all. She lets him play that role. She lets him take over. And the person who is the Mars is very appreciative of the moon because he gets to be the man in this situation. This aspect is commonly found with people who have children together. It's very likely that you will find an aspect between the moon and Mars in their synastry charts. We all know in astrology that moon conjunct Mars in other circumstances can be a very irritating and annoying aspect. So unfortunately, at some point in the relationship, the moon person could start triggering Mars, and the Mars person could start getting irritated. This is very exemplary of our parents. They're usually at each other's throats, and they're still our parents, so there's something good there. So if you're looking for a steamy hot fling, this is the aspect that could bring you that type of relationship. But on the other hand, if you want this relationship to last, we have to look at your synastry to see if you have other stabilizing aspects to other planets that could give your relationship stability and longevity. And if you'd like to find out what those aspects are, I suggest that you click like and you subscribe to my channel. If you're new to my channel and have not yet subscribed, please hit the subscribe button, It's right below this video, the red button. It's not a commitment. If you're new to my channel and have not yet subscribed, please hit the subscribe button, It's right below this video, the red button. It's not a commitment. This way you will be notified whenever I upload new videos that will continue this synastry aspect series. Thank you. And since these two are major opposite energies, of course they're going to attract. And at the same time, they're going to have major differences. There is some friction here. So essentially, moon conjunct Mars is a huge indicator for attraction in synastry between two people. Besides physical attraction, this aspect also suggests a deep emotional connection. Let's look at the moon separately. The moon in a female's chart represents our mothering energy. It is the ruler of the natural fourth sign of the zodiac. It rules over Cancer. So it also rules over our emotions and what we deeply desire. And for women, it also rules our menstrual cycle. So therefore, it rules over fertility. Let's examine Mars. Mars is our masculine energy in our chart. And in a female's chart, it represents the man we desire, the man of our dreams. Not necessarily our husband, but the man who we desire deeply sexually. So when these two meet, this energy is triggered. What is the purpose of the moon? Is to be a mother. What is the purpose of Mars? Is to dominate. So the best way Mars can dominate the moon is to impregnate the moon. That is the ultimate domination. So the main function of these two planets in our chart when they meet is to procreate. So if you've been dating someone for a while and you haven't even been thinking about having children, when you meet a person who conjuncts your moon in your chart, all of a sudden you're going to start thinking about making babies. And it's just not going to be one-sided. Both of you are going to feel this pull at the same time. Even if you started out in your sexual relationship being careful, at some point, probably very early in the relationship, you're going to throw away all cautions. It's very likely that you suddenly stop using protection. And it will be something that will be done on an unconscious level because you both want the same outcome. It just happens very naturally. As you can see from that explanation, Mars is the more aggressive person because he wants to assert his dominance. This energy works best if the Mars person is the male. And the moon person, of course, is the female. Well, these days, whoever the more dominant person, being the Mars, and the less dominant person being the moon, Mars is going to feel very comfortable and appreciated in this aspect because the moon person will let them exercise their dominance. The female and the masculine roles are correctly appropriated with this conjunction. The moon is also very comfortable playing the role of the female. This aspect could start out very hot and steamy and very passionate, but it could quickly turn into disaster. The moon could easily irritate Mars, and the Mars could easily irritate the moon. We have to keep in mind that the Mars energy can be very aggressive and the moon energy can be very sensitive. So if these two get into a disagreement, it could get very volatile because Mars is very aggressive and the moon is very sensitive. So in this situation, this conjunction in synastry, the person with the moon aspect is much more vulnerable. However, if the moon person is crafty and clever, she knows how to get back at Mars. So these two are either fighting or making love. Hopefully making love. Because these two could have a situation of War of the Roses. I don't know if you've watched that movie. Watch it. This type of conjunction could lead to a relationship where there's heated arguments, fighting, and then breaking up and making up. And the making up part, the sex part, is always intense and hard. And this is what keeps bringing them back to each other. In conclusion, if you have this aspect with someone or in a relationship, keep in mind it's going to get very steamy and volatile at times. And there is a huge possibility for a child to come out from this union. The nature of Mars and moon, when they meet, their whole objective is to procreate. So if that's not what you're looking for in this particular relationship, I highly suggest that you use contraceptive or protection in this relationship. I hope you enjoyed this series and I look forward to seeing you on the next synastry aspect.